Welcome to East by West Farm. Today I'm going to show you how to sort chives. Chive is actually a very good vegetable to have for your permaculture because it grows like grass. The more you cut, the more they grow. They are also evergreen, so they self-seed and they're evergreen and it's perennial. So basically you seed it once or you plant it once and you can harvest for the rest of your life. Because chives are very fast-growing vegetables, so you may just by 1 week they're getting too old. As you can see over here, I have a huge basket of chive uncleaned over here, and in front of me are the chives the chive leaves I don't want, and over here is the cleaned ones. So this is how. After I cut it, so it grows like that, and after I cut it, this is what it looks like. You can see that the outer edge of leaves are actually, they are kind of old, and the center one is the more tender one. So what you do is you peel this off, just 1 or 2, and that gives you the tender part. And if in the top, at the tip of the leaf, there's some burning, or you feel that the leaf is a little bit old, you can peel that off, pinch that off as well. So that gives you a nice clean chive. Here I have 3 different chives. So the right one is actually, that's very young. I don't even need to peel any of the outside leaves off. I can use this directly. How can you tell is actually you use your finger to feel the end of the chive. If they feel very soft, then that's the young chive. And if they feel rough, it's old chives. The same thing, you can also run your finger like this through the leaves, and the young chives feels very smooth, but the old chives feels a little bit rough. So that's how you can tell. So this one is the young one. You don't need to clean it. This one, if you run your finger from the outside of the outside edge of the chive and the inside chives leaves, you can see that, you can feel that they're different. So in this case, the outside feels kind of old, so I'm just taking it off. The inside feels pretty smooth, so that means they are tender. And when I come down over here, I feel it's getting rough, so I pinch it off. So this is the older one. In this case, you can definitely feel the outside is very rough. So this one pretty much is not useful. Maybe the center one, but it's not worth it. Just dump it. What you usually do, you get a whole bundle, like what I did at the beginning of the video, and just clean it. It's actually, once you get good at it, it goes pretty fast. I probably was here for 5 minutes, and this is how much I have cleaned. What I have at hand is actually a chive flower, so you can see that they are not open yet. One of the things people concerned with planting chives is they are they're self-propagating, so you could end up with a lot of chives. What you can do actually, so what they suggest is to cut the chive flower off before they go into seeds. But it's actually, you can eat the chive flowers, it's very tasty. And in the farmers market, they sell they're much more expensive than chives. So what you can, when the chives start to flower, you can just go pick up all the flowers like this. The one thing is the bottom here could be, depends on when you pick them, could be quite woody. So you want to take the woody part out and just keep the tender part. The best way for me to tell whether it's edible or too woody to be eaten, to cook, is to use your hand, use your finger. So if you cannot break it with your finger, that means it's too old. So this one, I got a pretty old one. So when you move up, it breaks, can easily break with your hand, and that is where you want to. So in this case, of course, I only have a very short piece. But if you cut it earlier, you would have about, maybe sometimes you can have like a foot of length of chive flowers. In Western culture, chives are mostly used as spices, but in China and the Eastern culture, in China, you actually have the chive as just vegetable, so you can cook just like vegetable or cook with other things like eggs and those kind of things. If you like to learn how to do that or how to plant chives, hit the subscribe button. So we will have YouTube videos to show you how to do that.